Now that our pistons are out, the next step is to remove the crankshaft itself. However, before we remove the crankshaft, we'll have to remove the oil pump on this side, and there's another panel that holds the crankshaft oil seal on the other side that we'll have to remove. So the oil pump is held on by 4 bolts, all size 10mm. So now the oil pump's removed, we'll go ahead and remove the panel that holds the main crankshaft oil seal. So to do that, there's 4 bolts. They're 10mm once again. That those bolts are removed, we'll just pull back and remove that. And now everything's off, so we'll just go ahead and pull upwards on our crankshaft and set it down over here. Now that the crankshaft's out, we're going to go ahead and remove the crankshaft bearings. So the bearings are right here, there's 5 of them, and to remove them you just push down so that they come out the other side, and just pull them off like that. There we go. We can also remove our thrust wash, which is right here. There's 2 of them. The other one fell out before on its own. Once you've got the cylinder head removed from the engine, you can flip it over and do a quick visual inspection of the valves and just the surface in general, and check for any scratches that there might be. We've already wiped this one down and it looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and measure the surface for warpage. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to take our precision straight edge that we bought just for this, and we're going to put it across in an X type of pattern. Now the service standard is 0.02 inches. So that means if your cylinder head is warped more than 0.002 inches, you have to send it to an automotive machine shop to have it resurfaced. So the other tool that we're using here is called a feeler gauge, and what this is just a bunch of different pieces of metal of given thicknesses. So we've selected the 0.0015 inch feeler gauge piece. We put the straight edge across here, and we're just going to see if this fits underneath. If it doesn't fit underneath, it means that our cylinder head is not warped and have to get it machined. So we'll just start putting it in. Now most of the time when the cylinder heads are warped, it's going to be the one in the middle that's going to slide under. But as you can see on this one, we can't get it to fit underneath. And if we do lift it up and put it back down, it's stuck. So we'll just keep checking a little bit everywhere, and so far it looks good. Now we'll try to put this the other way, and we'll do the same test, just putting the feeler gauge underneath. So this one looks good, so there's no need to get this resurfaced, and we can go ahead and flip it over and start looking at the other side. Now that we did the warpage inspection on the bottom, we've flipped it back and we're going to take the bolts off to take this piece here out. So from the outside in. So we've just loosened these 4 10mm bolts. We'll remove those. And now we're free to lift up on the valve train. So we can just take that off. Okay, so at this point we can see the camshaft, and it's a good time to inspect it just visually to see if there's any bores on the surfaces there. These are important surfaces on the camshaft. So you just want to make sure that they're not scratched too much. We'll take that off. Now, underneath the camshaft, something to look for is just take your finger and run it along the side of here to see if there's a lip forming. If the cylinder head is worn out, you'll feel a large lip like overhanging here. This one seems pretty good. So we've taken a quick look at the camshaft. We're going to start removing the valves. Now to do that, we're going to use this valve spring compressor. It's just a specialized tool meant for valves. There's a lot of different models, a lot of different varieties of compressors, but this is the one that I've noticed works the best for these engines. So the way to do this is pull this. Now you sit one end, this end here, on the bottom of the valve, and the other cut over the top. Now you want to get it adjusted, play with the adjustment here, and once everything's right, you just push the little lock, and there's small little valve keepers, and this one's not actually going far enough right now, so I'll just tighten this up a little bit. And push in, it locks. Come over here, take these extremely small pieces out, making sure not to lose them. There we go. And then just slowly back it off. Don't lose the top piece. So once that's removed, you can take out the spring, and you can also push the valve out. Now, an easy way, a straightforward way to check your valve guide clearance is just to pull the valve out a little bit and see if it rocks back and forth in the hole. If there's any kind of significant amount of play, you'll have to change either your valves and or your valve guides. So this one seems alright, so we can go ahead and pull this valve all the way out, just like that, and we'll get those cleaned up. So here's another one. Just push down, lock it in. Always make sure to be compressing valve springs because they hold quite a lot of tension behind them, and they can really hurt you if they fly off if you're using the wrong valve spring compressor. Make sure not to lose the pieces. And then very carefully just release the spring, like that. Take off the washer that's on the top. Remove the spring, push the valve out the other side, check for the clearance, the valve guide. It's alright, so we take it out. Now that we've got all the valves removed and the valve springs, we're going to go and remove the valve seals. We're replacing those parts, they're part of our engine rebuild kit. So to remove those, just grab them with a pair of long nose pliers.